Hello, I'm Navpreet from Lokmedia, and I've got with me Steve Hedley, and we're going to be talking about Steve's book and give a quick introduction before the book launch. So, Steve, the book that you have produced is Derry Boy. Could you tell us a little bit about your childhood and what we can expect in your book?
Well, basically, the book's an autobiography. I was born just after the war in the north of Ireland started. I was born in 1968. One of my first memories is Bloody Sunday, when I was a child, just nearly 4 years old, when 13 people were massacred and enough person died in my hometown later, 14 in total, and about 20 injured by the British Army, basically firing into the crowd and shooting people. And it's about me growing up in those sort of situations where bombs were going off, where the army was attacking people, where they were terrorizing the whole community. And then it goes on to explore me coming to London, getting involved in the trade union movement and militant anti-fascism, and kind of becoming a hardcore trade unionist, if you like, with the RMT union. And then how basically things evolved from there, and how I became a leader in the union, and then eventually parted ways with the union over their policies. And that's a kind of autobiographical part of it. And then towards the end, I kind of looked at where we are as the left in Britain and explore issues like climate change and the fact that we're headed towards a global disaster. We're already in the Ukrainian war. Unfortunately, the massacre, the genocide in Palestine was not really happening before I completed the book. So I didn't add that chapter. Maybe that if we have another reissue, I'd certainly like to write about that. And I can offer solutions, or at least try to start a debate about where we can go and what we can do. And when a member of my family heard that I was offering solutions, or at least a debate about humanity, it was my brother. He said, "What, you, dear Jesus?" So it keeps you a bit grounded when members of your family talk about you in those kind of terms.
So, would you say you're well versed in the climate change movement and about war and that like the trade union movement and and war itself and climate change is like interlinked?
Yeah, I do. I think I've made an effort to educate myself about it, and I wanted to write a book that ordinary people would read. I didn't want to write some academic journal that people, working class people, wouldn't read, because I think our class are going to be in for the brunt of what happens with climate change. We're going to be the ones competing over the resources. Wars are going to be fought over resources like food, like water. If the temperature rises by another 2 degrees, about 1 billion people, nearly 1 billion people, will be displaced on the planet because it'll be too hot for them to live, or they'll be underwater. So I think this is something that working class people have to actually acknowledge is going to affect them most. The rich will just move somewhere else or employ security guards or private armies to look after their interests. Working class people will have nowhere to go, and we need to wake up to that fact. And that's what I've attempted to do in my book.
Now, would you say that your book is giving people hope or more warning us about what's to come?
Well, it's definitely a warning, but what I try to do is start a debate about the practical solutions. I think we need a return to class politics. We have to start seeing ourselves, not just in this country, but internationally, as working class people. And we have to democratize our organizations, our trade unions, our community organizations. And we've got to have our own political organizations that represent us, because none of the political parties actually do that. And it's not in none of their interests to save us as a class from war or from climate change. So we need to do it ourselves. I suppose that's the message of the book.
Okay. So I'm assuming that those are some of the solutions that you offer from the book as well.
Yeah, it's a lot to do with self-organization. It's about not relying on leaders. It's about changing leaders and holding them accountable. And it's about getting off your backside and having direct action. We can't wait. I think what Gaza has showed us in microcosm is that the leaders of the world will do nothing, even when they're presented with a genocide. We all know it's a genocide. 70% of people in Britain want the genocide stopped, but our government are ignoring the 70% of the people and backing a genocidal Israeli government. So that's not a situation that we can just sit by and wait for another year to vote them out, because we've got an opposition who are basically the same. So it's up to us to organise. We have to be our own leaders. We have to lead in the workplace, lead in the community, and organise civil disobedience.
So Steve, where can we buy your book, and how much will it be?
Well, it's out on the 29th of this month. It's about 16 quid. 25% of any money I make is going to the medical aid for Palestinians. So hopefully we do make some money on it, and we can give the Palestinians some much needed assistance. It's available at Lola Books. It's going to be on Amazon. It's going to be in Waterstones and all major bookshops. It's called Derry Boy.
Amazing. Thank you.